welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie, and we're out in the community again in Kimberly. Today we're at the Richeson School of Art and Gallery. We are sitting in front of a lovely painting called Shanghai by Michelle Richeson, part of that family. So, Jill, what is your first pick for books that involve art heists, painting, you name it?
So my first one, you're probably familiar with it. It is The Henna Artist by Al-Kajashi. Escaping from an abusive marriage, 17-year-old Lakshmi makes her way alone to the vibrant 1950s pink city of Jaipur. There she becomes the most highly requested henna artist and confidant to the wealthy women of the upper class. But trusted with the secrets of the wealthy, she can never reveal her own. Known for her original designs and sage advice, Lakshmi must tread carefully to avoid the jealous gossips who could ruin her reputation and her livelihood. As she pursues her dream of an independent life, she is startled one day when she is confronted by her husband, who has tracked her down these many years later with a high-spirited young girl in tow, a sister Lakshmi never knew she had. Suddenly, the caution she has carefully cultivated as protection is threatened. Still, she perseveres, applying her talents and lifting those up to surround her as she does. This was published in 2020, and it's a Reese's book pick.
All right, and for my first pick, I have 1,000 Years of Joys and Sorrows by A.I. Weiwei, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This was published back in 2021. It's hailed as an eloquent and seemingly unsilenceable voice of freedom by the New York Times. This author has written a sweeping memoir that presents a remarkable history of China over the last 100 years while also illuminating the artistic process. The author recounts his childhood in exile and his difficult decision to leave his family to study art in America, where he befriended Allen Ginsberg and was inspired by Andy Warhol. With candor and wit, he details his return to China and his rise from artistic unknown to art world superstar and international human rights activist, and how his work has been shaped by living under a totalitarian regime. The author's sculptures and installations have been viewed by millions of people around the globe, and his architectural achievements include helping to design the iconic Bird's Nest Olympic Stadium in Beijing. His political activism has long made him a target of the Chinese authorities, which culminated in months of secret detention without charge in 2011. So here for the first time, the author explores the origins of his exceptional creativity and passionate political beliefs through his life story and that of his father, whose creativity was stifled. So, 1,000 Years of Joys and Sorrows.
I feel like that describes art. My next one is The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. This is published in 2022. Florence, in the 1550s, Lucrezia, third daughter of the Grand Duke, is comfortable with her obscure place in the palazzo, free to wander at its treasures, observe its clandestine workings, and devote herself to her own artistic pursuits. But when her older sister dies on the eve of her wedding to the ruler of Ferrara, Modena, and Reggio, Lucrezia is thrust unwittingly into the limelight. The Duke is quick to request her hand in marriage, and her father just quick to accept on her behalf. Having barely left girlhood behind, Lucrezia must now enter an unfamiliar court whose customs are opaque and where her arrival is not universally welcomed. Perhaps the most mystifying of all is her new husband himself, Alfonso. Is he the playful sophisticate he appeared to be before the wedding, the aesthete happiest in the company of artists and musicians, or the ruthless politician before whom his formidable sisters seemed to tremble? As Lucrezia sits in the constricting finery for a painting that is intended to preserve her image for centuries to come, one thing becomes worryingly clear. In the courtsards, she has one duty: to provide an heir who will shore up the future for the Farragut dynasty. Until then, for all her rank and nobility, the new Duchess's future hangs entirely in the balance. So, The Marriage Portrait, 1550s, Florence.
I also have a portrait in my second pick. Got some fun covers with these. This is a popular author at the library. This is Daniel Silva's book, Portrait of an Unknown Woman, and this was published in 2022. It's described as a spellbinding masterpiece, and in this book, they undertake a high-stakes search for the greatest art forger who ever lived. It's stylish, sophisticated, and ingeniously plotted. It's a wildly entertaining journey through the darker side of the art world, a place where unscrupulous dealers routinely deceive their customers and deep-pocketed investors treat great paintings as though they were just another asset class to be bought and sold at a price. From its elegant opening to the shocking twists of its climax, the novel is a tour de force of storytelling and one of the finest pieces of heist fiction ever written. And it's still more proof that when it comes to international intrigue and suspense, Daniel Silva has no equal. So check out Portrait of an Unknown Woman if you want to have a book about an art forger or an art heist.
Like Ocean's 11, is that what it is? My next one is called Drawing Home by Jamie Brenner. This is going to be not really about a heist or the lady that's going to die because she doesn't have a baby. This is summer has started in idyllic Sag Harbor, and for Emma Mapson that means greeting guests at the front desk of the American Hotel. But when one of the town's most famous residents, artist Henry Wyatt, dies suddenly, Emma learns he has mysteriously left his waterfront home, a self-designed masterpiece filled with his work, to her teenage daughter, Penny. Back in Manhattan, legendary art patron Bea Waitsted's grief at her lifelong friend and former business partner Henry's passing turns to outrage at the news as a shocking bequest. How did these unknown locals get their hands on the estate? Bea, with her devoted assistant Kyle in tow, descends on Sag Harbor determined to reclaim the house and preserve Henry's legacy. While Emma fights to defend her daughter's inheritance, Bea discovers that Henry left a treasure trove of sketches scattered around town. With Penny's reluctant help, Bea pieces them together to find a story hidden in plain sight, an illustration of their shared history with an unexpected twist that will change all their lives. Drawn together in the battle for the house, Emma and Bea are forced to confront the past while facing a future that challenges everything they believe about love, fate, and family. This was first published in 2019. Sag Harbor, summer in Sag Harbor.
Yeah. My next pick comes from our nonfiction collection. I love this big book.
Look at
this.
that.
Is the story of painting, how art was made. This is edited by Angela Wilkes and published in 2019. It's a fascinating history of art. It's gloriously illustrated, and it reveals how materials, techniques, and ideas have evolved over the centuries, inspiring artists and giving them the means to create their most celebrated works. It covers a comprehensive array of topics, from the first pigments and frescoes to linear perspective in Renaissance paintings, the influence of photography, Impressionism, and the birth of modern art. It follows each step in the evolution of painting over the last 25,000 years, from the first cave paintings to the abstract works of the last 150. It's got beautiful color reproductions of paintings and photographs of artists at work and the materials they used. It also focuses on key paintings from each period to analyze the techniques and secrets of the great masters in details. So you can curl up with this book and immerse yourself in the pages, find yourself dazzled by new colors, marvel at the magic of perspective, wonder at the glowing depictions of fabric and flesh, understand cubism, and embrace abstraction. It will transform your understanding and enjoyment of paintings forever. So again, from the nonfiction section.
And the cover is just gorgeous.
Yeah, there's lots of illustrations in it. You can see. So it's really, and it's got a beautiful cover. So if you want a nonfiction book about the history of painting, story of painting, how art was made.
How art was made. My next one is also from the nonfiction section. I have Vincent and Theo, The Van Gogh Brothers by Deborah Heiligman. This was published in 2017. The deep and enduring friendship between Vincent and Theo Van Gogh shaped both brothers' lives. Confident, champion, sympathizer, friend, Theo supported Vincent as he struggled to find his path in life. They shared everything, swapping stories of lovers and friends, successes and disappointments, dreams and ambitions. Meticulously researched, drawing on the 658 letters Vincent wrote to Theo during his lifetime, Deborah Heiligman weaves a tale of two lives intertwined in the love of the Van Gogh brothers.
Sorry,
and I just loved this book. It was
Please try
amazing.
again in a
My fourth pick is a popular book. It's also in our Pulitzer Prize section. This is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This was published in 2013 and it won the Pulitzer in 2014. Age 13, Theo Decker, son of a devoted mother and reckless, largely absent father, survives an accident that otherwise tears his life apart. Alone and rudderless in New York, he's taken in by the family of a wealthy friend. He's tormented by an unbearable longing for his mother, and down the years clings to the thing that most reminds him of her. A small, strangely captivated painting that ultimately draws him into the criminal underworld. As he grows up, Theo learns to glide between the drawing rooms of the rich and the dusty antique store where he works. He's alienated and in love, and his talisman, the painting, places him at the center of a narrowing, ever more dangerous circle. The Goldfinch is a haunted odyssey through present-day America and a drama of enthralling power. It's combining unforgettably vivid characters and thrilling suspense. It's a beautiful, addictive triumph. It's a sweeping story of loss and obsession, of survival and self-invention, and of the deepest mysteries of love, identity, and fate. It is on my list of Pulitzer winners to read. I have not read this book. I've seen the movie. Did you see the movie?
I did.
Yeah, I liked the movie, so
I did like the movie.
it's a big one to tackle, so it's kind of low on my list of the Pulitzer
Well,
ones.
if you're
But
doing the Pulitzer
someday.
Challenge is a good one. And you can learn a little bit of art.
Exactly.
The world of art. Okay, so my last book today is Woman on Fire by Lisa Barr. This was published in 2022. After talking her way into a job with Dan Mansfield, the leading investigative reporter in Chicago, rising young journalist Jules Roth is given an unusual and very secret assignment. Dan needs her to locate a painting stolen by the Nazis more than 75 years earlier. Legendary expressionist artist Ernest Engel's most famous work, Woman on Fire, world-renowned shoe designer Ellis Baum wants this portrait on a beautiful, mysterious woman for deeply personal reasons and has enlisted Dan's help to find it. But Jules doesn't have much time. The famous designer is dying. Meanwhile, in Europe, provocative and powerful Margot de Laurent also searches for the painting. Heir to the art collector family's millions, Margot is a cunning gallerist who gets everything she wants. The only thing standing in her way is Jules. Yet the passionate and determined Jules has unexpected resources of her own, including Adam Baum, Ellis's grandson. A recovering addict and brilliant artist of his own right, Adam was once Margot's clutches. He knows how ruthless she is, and he'll do anything to keep Jules locate the painting before Margot gets to it first. Woman on Fire.
Sounds like a good one. My last pick, also a popular author, Reese Bowen. This is the Venice Sketchbook, and this was published in 2021. This is the New York best-selling author of The Tuscan Child, Above the Bay of Angels, so I think a lot of people are probably familiar with this author. In this book, Caroline Grant is struggling to accept the end of her marriage when she receives an unexpected bequest. Her beloved great-aunt Letty leaves her a sketchbook, 3 keys, and a final whisper. Venice. Caroline's quest to scatter Juliet Letty Browning's ashes in the city she loved and to unlock the mysteries stored away for more than 60 years. It's 1938 when art teacher Juliet Browning arrives in romantic Venice. For her students, it's a wealth of history, art, and beauty. For Juliet, it's a poignant memories and a chance to reconnect with Leonardo da Rossi, the man she loves, whose future is already determined by his noble family. However star-crossed, nothing can come between them until the threat of war closes in on Venice and they're forced to fight, survive, and protect a secret that will bind them forever. Key by key, Letty's life of impossible love, loss, and courage unfolds. It's one that Caroline can now make right again as her own journey of self-discovery begins. So, the Venice Sketchbook. This actually sounds like one I think I would read too, so I had to include this one today.
Well, we hope we helped you find something to read if you want to explore the art world a little bit. And also come to Richeson.
Oh, it's a beautiful gallery. It's a beautiful space. We thank the Richeson School of Art and Gallery for having us today and letting us film in front of the lovely artwork. Come visit this gem in Kimberly. Thank you guys for watching. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, the Kimberly Public Library website. And until next time,